through my mind. That even went through my mind even as we prayed and every single thing. Here, believe it or not, after the rain, it's definitely hot. So I thought to pray I thought about what's going on, and I already prepared this class, and the title of the class is "For Such a Time as This." For such a time as this, and I'm sure if you are very conversant with your Bible, you can immediately get the only place where such a statement appears. The only place that will be the book of Esther. That will be the book of Esther. We know what happened in the book of Esther. There was this epic drama that happened in the book of Esther, where one person, a man, attempted to carry out genocide against the Jews. In fact, the anniversary of this failed genocide is still celebrated as a special day among the Jews. Till today, for many years, they are still celebrating it. And on that day, they give each other gifts, and which corresponds to Hanukkah. Hanukkah almost corresponds to the December celebration of Christmas, where people give gifts also. In chapter 4 of Esther, in verse 12, when Esther's word, because Esther was cowardly at the point, her uncle that helped her, that encouraged her, who nursed her after her parents died, she was an orphan, to even enter the beauty competition. Was now begging her to, please, you are the only person that can talk to the king. You are the only closest person to the king. Please, the Jews are about to be killed. A decree has already been signed. What can we do? And of course, Esther was now thinking about her own welfare. And that's what happens when we start our lives, being selfless, when we are giving up everything, when we are ready to say Jesus is Lord. And some of you that have watched Dr. Strange of the Avengers, you see that Dr. Strange started off by he wanted to go to the ends of the earth, anywhere, just to save his life, because he wanted to save his career as the top surgeon. He has never had a miss. He has had 100% surgical success. But right now, after the accident he had, which was due to his own negligence while he was driving, he couldn't use his hands anymore. And there's no surgeon. A surgeon is nothing that cannot use his hand. It's not what's your brain. It is also what you can do with your hand. And Dr. Strange traveled to the ends of the earth, literally. He went to Kathmandu, a place in Nepal, to seek relief, to seek this magical relief. Unfortunately, when he got there, his whole thinking changed, because he was still selfish. And if you go to the series of Dr. Strange, you will see it was him fighting his own demons, really, his own selfishness, until he became selfless. He was a man who had everything. He had the luxury. He talked to people anyhow. It was just a man of himself, but he never connected with other people outside there. This is a man who will reject surgery that was not challenging to him and everything. So Esther became like that. Esther came in an orphan, came in destitute, came in beggarly. Now she became a queen after Vashti was unceremoniously dethroned. And right now, what she was doing was to save her life. So when Esther's words were reported to Mordecai, that's her uncle, he sent back this answer. And this was what his brave, very brave uncle said to him. He said, do not think that because you are in the king's house, you alone of all the Jews will escape. Do not think because now you are okay. Now you have food to eat. Now you are secure. Now you don't have any problem. All of a sudden, you are no more like everybody else. In verse 4, he said, for if you remain silent at this time, if you don't speak up at this time, relief, you can be sure that relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place, because God will not leave people alone. But you and your father's family will perish. I mean, this one sounds like a curse, right? This is where people now react. A lot of people react more to things like this than respond to do what is right. Now, when you tell somebody, oh, please be diligent in reading your book. Make sure you spend time studying and everything. People don't respond to things like, you should be like, oh, thank you, I will. But immediately they say, if you don't do that, you're going to fail. You are costing me. People react because people say, oh, you are costing, and that is the society we are living in. We are more afraid afraid of these things than we are of doing what is right. We are more afraid of consequences than we are of doing what is right. So Mordecai told her, if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place. But you and your father's family will perish. And who knows? Maybe look at the trajectory of your life. Look at what God has done. Look at how God has taken you. Who knows? But that you have come to royal position for such a time as this. For such a time as this. Why do you think that God has placed you where he placed you right now? What is your purpose in life? Why are you where you are? Many times we think we are where we are because we are smart. We think we are where we are. Yeah, we are smart. Your smartest can take you anywhere. We think we are where we are because we are fortunate. Yes, fortune. Yeah, if you want to call it that way, fortune. You might think you are, where you are, because you know the right people. But have you thought about providence? Providence. Could God be using your fortune, your good fortune, to meet the need of a greater good? Could God be using my fortune, my position, my intelligence, my know-how, what I know, the place that you are? The Bible says, in the book of Acts chapter 17, Paul said that God determines where we live so that people might reach out to him and maybe call him, maybe find him. Then Esther, in verse 15, sent this reply to Mordecai. Go, he told the emissary. He said, go, gather together all the Jews who are in Susa and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. This is like dry fast. What we call it, bilibili. The right people call it bilibili. No, dry fast. Do not eat or drink for 3 days. Don't break it at any point in time. I and my maids will fast as you do. So we are not left out of this. So you guys be rest assured. Because the rule is you cannot approach the king of Persia unless you are summoned. No matter who you are, a king or a queen or a princess, the law says you will be killed. Unless, of course, the king extends his scepter to you. So Queen Esther, can you guys hear me? Can I get a feedback? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You get
Yes.
because if you can hear me, please check your location. Unfortunately, where we are, we do not have equal transmission of strength of if you're on the same the network where you live. If you still from on the construction house, like the engineering block, I believe in Unilag or somewhere, you might not be able to get reception easily because if the acoustics do not really work well. So please, if you hear me, like I said, I don't mind preaching this sermon again and again. Like I said, this is just at one, of it. So please be patient. If you are married, ask your husband at home. The preacher just said, you can single, go on WhatsApp, and I'm sure you're gonna get Jesus. Amen. Just trying to make light of a very serious situation here. Bear with me again. I'm just very sarcastic. Anyway, so I'm just going to continue. Esther knew that, so she practically was bargaining. She was bargaining with her life right now. So she was going to take the only opening, the tiny, very, very unlikely opening, that 0.00% that will work. And that's what she started to do. But she needed God. She needed God. She needed solidarity. He said, tell all the Jews in Susa, that's the capital, tell everybody there that please fast for me. I and my maid will also fast 3 days, no food, no drink. We're just going to do like that. So when this is done, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And if I perish, I perish. You see, these are the things that movies are made of. These are the kind of statements that movies I really, made of. The Yoruba have a saying that Ojolomoto, this is the main. Live or die. And this young girl who just got into the position of prominence was willing to take her life into her hands and say, no, for the sake of my people, at least let me try. Sometimes people are things are hard, impossible. But how do you know it's impossible if you have not tried? It's when you try and you fail, you say, well, it's impossible. And again, it's possible for one man, might be possible for another person. So I want to use this as a launch pad to open up our eyes. And there's no other book in the Bible that I know right now that has all these emotions, different emotions all squeezed together, more book than the book of Psalms. I read lots of books, and since January, I've read more than I don't know, maybe 15 books or more since January. I read an average of like 4 books in a month or so or more. I read many books on different topics, on different, both on behavioral science and some books on family and so many things. But I was caught by some of the books I read also on the Psalms. There's a particular book that I was caught by, and that man made this statement in the book concerning the Psalms. He said the Psalms are actually songs of three kinds of songs: songs of orientation, songs of disorientation, and songs of reorientation. And I began to dig in more. I mean, I read so many other books. Also, and I kind of like it. I like what many other professors and many other scholars. But I like it. I didn't know I'm going to be preaching it. I had no idea I was going to be preaching it. But I was just like, let me put my whatever. But for such a time as this, with all the prayers that have been prayed today, with all the things that we see on social media, some of them I refuse to watch because it would just arouse my anger, practically. So I have been running to the Psalm, not to hide away. This is not a time for you to run to go and hide, but this is a time for you to go run to something so I can draw strength. Unfortunately, many of you listening to me, right now, this might be the most turbulent time of your life, and it's not the most. Trust me, this is not the most turbulent time of anybody's life right now. So some of us have lived through some challenging times. In the past few months, believe it or not, I have taken time to write down a mini biography of myself. The first one I wrote was actually to pinpoint my family genogram and to think of so many things that's happening in my family and just write it. That's why I wrote pages on pages, and it was moving even for me to just read. Recently, I wrote another one. I lived through a time where there was trouble. I only saw few weeks sometimes of democracy growing up. From my primary school all through I finished college, it was military rule with only little things of democracy here, and sometimes just for a few years, and boom, another coup. Because I know what it means to run for dear life in school. I know what it means to be chased out of school on gunpoint. I know what it means to demonstrate, on the street, to throw stones, to get really angry. I know what it means to stay at home for at least 1 year, school shut down every now and then, and everything. Those were terrible times. Apart from that, I also lived through some social turbulent time where after the Civil War, where people from my own extraction, from Eastern extraction, are literally not accepted anywhere in the country because of the failed secession plan by Biafra, and many more, where you can't live in the house. And I know some of those things are still here. You can't you can't stay in the house with Yoruba man if you're Igbo, and so forth. Live to the Koko system, where no matter how smart somebody who is from another part we get a job less qualified for. Meanwhile, so that you are qualified. And so the book of if you pick up something like or
we are never not doing well, sorry.
That you have the African edition and so on and so forth. Is there feedback I'm getting?
Yeah, your network is not.
Is there feedback or? Can somebody else hear me a bit clearer? Anywhere, please. It's clearer.
If crashing, sir.
When I say somebody, I don't mean so. I know
people live.
Sarah, Kitty can hear you.
Give me a feedback.
Somolu can hear. Is speaking.
Okay, like I said, maybe because of the rain, after the rain, after they are able, there's no electricity. You guys know that I'm running on my generator. Many parts of town, there's no electricity. So some of the masts, their generators off. That's what consumes really. Some of the masts generators might be off, so they won't be able to transmit properly to you. So please continue to bear with me. Who is it that can? Rotimi, can you hear me? That would be a miracle. Rotimi, can you hear me a little bit clearer? We know Apple. Can Rotimi hear me?
We can hear you.
Hello.
Only that is just breaking from time to time.
Okay. Yeah, it's breaking. Okay. So so please just bear with me. It rained tonight, and some of the mission stations would have been affected. Maybe the guy who's also switching on is catching post somewhere. Who knows? So I can get it's giving me all green. That means it's very clear. I have all back here, it's all green. So please, again, bear with me. This is serious. Don't worry, I'm going to do some repetition, hopefully next week. I'm sure Prince can hear me very well. Prince, can you hear me very well? Prince, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well, sir.
So you guys see the difference? Okay, so people like Prince is in Germany, and over there they have 5G, not 6G, so they can. Oh no! So this is some of the things that we are talking about. Not animals, some are more equal than the others. Countries, there are countries today who live off the context of Africa, but they are doing well. So I want to arouse this morning your passion. I want to arouse your pride, a good way, your sense of pride. I want to arouse your sense of godliness. Because so many of us we are living in a bubble. We are living in a bubble where everything goes your way. Where maybe the only big challenge some of us have is we don't have dessert after our food. And the dessert we get is not the flavor. Maybe you wanted vanilla flavor, and that was the chocolate flavor, or whatever. And we think that is suffering. And maybe some of us, where we live is, we have so much clothes that we have to rag some of them and call them dirty jeans or crazy jeans or whatever jeans, where people are looking for something to cover up. So if you live in a bubble, any kind of bubble, really, it will be hard for you to understand the message of the Psalm. And I also believe with all my heart as a minister that even as a church, that sometimes we have numbed ourselves to the realities of time. We have numbed ourselves. Let me start by sharing, some facts about the Psalm. The book of Psalm is the largest book in the Bible. You already know that. It's extensive. It's a volume of itself. It's a massive library of itself. It will be hard pressed for you to find a book that throughout the scriptures that will speak more clearly. And I have tried. There are many books that speak clearly, but they are usually lopsided. If you look at Lamentation, for example, of Jeremiah, it is too lopsided in a place. If you look at the book of Proverbs, it's lopsided, but some of them try to have it better, but none have the kind of balance that book of Psalm has. It clearly, it's a book that reached out to our own humanity. All of us, you can feel it. Now, this worship book, as it says, is packed with incredible breadth of emotion that, at the after times comes across as shocking. Some of them, and I dare you to read some of them. I've read some of them. I promise you will stop. As you are reading them, you have to stop. Some of them will shock you. to think that can this be a book of worship? How can something like this be found in the Bible? Now, the writers of this time, they face real circumstances, not like us like this. Oh, we're talking about coronavirus. Yeah, there is a virus out there. Yeah, but some of us don't realize that Lassa fever has killed more people this year alone than coronavirus. Whatever. There are more diseases in our country that's killing a lot of people. But it's an international event. All of us are running health outbreak. And of course, we live in a world where everything is fashion, everything is a craze. And I'm talking to young people here. Everything is fashion, everything is craze. We have people here, people are being killed in Nigeria every single day. And don't get me wrong, every life matters. Whether it's a young life or old life or whatever life, every life matters everywhere in the world. But it baffles me why people living in countries like Nigeria are oblivious, totally oblivious at the number of people that die gruesomely every single day, but they'll go and post things, which they should. They are more concerned about what happens in America, what happens in China, what happens in Hong Kong, so that they can join the trends, social trending. But you don't trend the evil that happens in your own country. You don't speak up against the evil. A young girl in Benue State was serially raped for years and killed. They were looking for people to go and stand. I had to go on air, both on radio, both on television. Until today, we don't know what happened. In fact, the person who committed this crime is free. He's roaming around free. And there's so many things that way. Over 300 girls were stolen, and more were stolen again. And it took somebody, the president of the first lady of America, to carry a placard or bring back again before everyone else starts joining the trend. So I think we need to think about our lives. Think more. Are we just going to be going through what is trending, or do you see evil? How do you respond? Not react. How do you respond to the evil that is around you? The evil in homes, the evil in your community, the evil in government, the evil in your school, the evil everywhere. You see them, you walk away, because just like Esther wanted to do initially, you want to save your life. So people don't speak up. It took BBC to organize this investigation. Before we now began to agree that there's actually sexual harassment in University of Lagos and also University of Ghana. It took BBC to go to Kaduna or Kano to go and reveal the videos and pictures of people taking codeine before the government. I'll be hearing the songs, codeine diet. We'll be hearing the song. People say about it, but we are oblivious. But when a foreign press carries it, then we now begin to react. For many years, we danced to Yahooze. We danced to Olumete's Yahooze. But we are numb to the fact that he was talking about internet scam. The government would turn their ear to it. But immediately, Transparency International downgrades Nigeria and says that it's like the second most corruption. We did not begin to say, no, it's not true. We are fighting for the wrong thing. The book of Psalm will expose us. It will try your patience, our stamina, and it will try your faith. These people in the Psalm, they speak out of their own lived experience in a Godward direction. They spoke to God. They said, God, this is what is happening. They are saying, God, how can you open your eyes and watch all these things happening? Just like the book of Habakkuk that our brother from Kenya, she shared with us at the just about 2 weeks ago. Say, God, how can you are too pure to hear these things. How is your prayer when you pray? Is your prayer polished? Sometimes, and I've asked this question, people who are close to me have heard me say this in the past few weeks. I ask people, does God know what goes through your mind? And every time I've asked that question, the answer is in the affirmative. They say yes. Does God know your thoughts? They say yes. Does God know the things you're about to say before you say yes? Then how come when you go to pray, you don't tell God what's in your heart? Some of us are angry even as I speak. Some of us are discouraged even as I speak. Some of us are disillusioned. But when you go to God, you polish your prayer. You want to sound right. And God is saying, my son, my daughter, I know what's in your heart. Why can't you say it to me? Why can't you say it to me? The people of God have benefited for thousands of years because of the raw vulnerable places in which these writers, give poetic expression. And I want to charge us to dare us, but I want to give you tools on how you can start this journey. You see, the book of Psalms, sometimes they call the book of books. The Psalms are broken into major sections. Now, just like our song book, actually our earlier song book, if you pick up our earlier song, you see they'll say some. In fact, some of them you will say they are spiritual, some are praise, some are clappers, some are a cappella. They even have some. They say some of baptism songs. They have worship song. They have what they call it, Easter song. Broken down in the same way in this massive volume called the Book of Psalms. If you look carefully, you find out that it's actually 5 books in one, and it's written right there. You have book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, book 5. It's like saying volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, and they are all one massive volume of 150 psalms. Book 1 is from Psalm 1 to 41. And how do we know? It's written there. And number 2, it ends with a doxology. Every time the book ends, it ends with praise and thanks to God and everything. Book 2 starts from Psalm 42 to 72. Book 3 is from Psalm 73 to 89. And book 4 is from 90 to 106. And finally, book 5 is from 107 to 150. Now, these are songs that are arranged. You will see some what they call the didactic. They are kind of, they are arranged. They are a collection of songs that were written down for a period of almost 1,000 years or so, and they were all gathered together, and they were now arranged in a way, in a very interesting and strange way, I dare say. If you begin to study, you find out that these books are incredible. They were most likely arranged after the exile came back from Babylon. And of course, you and I know that the people that came back are the Southern Empire. They came back, that's Judea. The Southern Empire came back, and that is where King David is from. And of course, King David wrote most of the Psalms, many of the Psalms. Is it not surprising that there are 5 books known as the Torah? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Those are the books of the law. And the books of Psalms are 5 books. And if you read carefully, it just says that this arrangement follows the life and tragedy of David. The life and tragedy of David. And they are drawn, and there are images that are drawn from these 5 books. For example, book 1 contains 41 psalms that look at the parallel with the theme of Genesis. And the contributor there was David and 4 other people. And of course, they end with this benediction that you find in chapter 13. And of course, book 2 seems to mirror out Exodus. Book 3 mirrors out Leviticus. Book 4 mirrors Numbers, and book 5 mirrors Deuteronomy. I'm getting a feedback. Can anybody hear me? Please, can I get a feedback? If someone can anybody?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Again, if you can hear me, guys, sorry, it's probably in the network. Check the icon on your Gypsy. You see the blue, the green or the red. Or mine is showing green. That means I'm full black here. My transmission is full black. If you're not receiving it, it's probably the transmission station closest to you probably turned off. So again, I'm sorry for your inability to actually hear me. I'm doing all I can here, okay? But all my voice also. But book 5 mirrors Deuteronomy, and that's how they arranged it. And you're going to see the agony of David. You're going to see the joy. You're going to see the so many things portrayed in that psalm. Now, if you look at the author's timeline, contrary to what many will assume, David is not the only person who penned down the psalm. There are people like Moses, Asaph, Korah, Solomon, Ethan, and so on and so forth. Wrote the psalm. Additionally, there are many who bear no author's name that whatsoever. They are very I just say compared to the ones that don't have anybody written there. Now, it will do us well to also be reminded that the psalms are not the result of one generation of writers. I already said that one, but many generations went into this project, writing. What we have is just a collection. Many scholars believe that these things span about 1,000 years, for the psalm to be penned throughout the Old Testament history. So, what I want us to look at is how do they bring out. They are poems, songs for our soul. They are also meditation for our heart. How do we go in? There are types of psalms, and I'm going to be sharing some. I've shared some of these things before, much earlier in the year. But they come in different types. They are genre. The Bible is a book of a library. I would say the Bible contains genre of writing. Like some are history books, some are poetic books, some are apocalyptic books, some are prophetic books, and on and on. And so, but within the Psalm, like we say, Psalm is a book of books. Psalm also has its own genre, its own divide. Now, the first one, and I want to really talk about that really, is lament psalms. Lament psalms are expressions of despair, usually accompanied by cries of help. Lament psalms, they are psalms of lament. And believe you me, this lament psalm accounts for the majority of all the psalms. They account for more than half of the psalms in the Bible. They are all laments. Now, what does that tell me? That tells me that the world has not changed much. That there's evil in the world and people are crying out for evil. The second one is thanksgiving psalm. They give appreciation and credit for what God has done, for the psalmist or for God's people. Then finally, they are praise psalms. They extol God for his character and qualities. Now, these are the three divisions. You can subdivide them, and I'm going to show you the subdivision of this psalm. But when I look at the psalm, I see three major divisions. I see lament. That lament has its own division also. Lament has subdivision. Thanksgiving has subdivision. Praise has subdivision. You see the songs of the kings. You have the songs of the Messiah and on and on. But these are the predominant three categories, and the lament psalms are the majority of them all. Now think about it. How do we know there is God? The Bible says, just look around you. Look around you. Know that there is something. If you look at your wristwatch, or look at your computer, or look at your cell phone, the first thing comes to mind is, what brand is it? What make? That means somebody made it. So Bible says, when you look around, it said the heaven declares, and that's book of Psalm again. I'm drawing from. It said the heaven declares the will of God. The night after night, day after day. There is a proper speech. There's no language that your voice are not heard. Whether you are outside Yoruba, Igbo, Epic, you are everything. You just hear them speaking to you. That there's a maker, there's a God who is alive. In him we live and will survive. There's just beaming out. So that will give you to now begin to now express the wonders of God. Praise the character of God. That's how the sounds of praise come from. The sound of praise draw from creation. You say things like, wow, look at your head. Look at the sky, the moon, look at whatever, the river, the stream. You look at what God has done and begin to praise God and praise God and praise God and praise God. Then you also ask God, please bless us with this, bless us with that. So when you make a request and that request is answered, the next genre is thanksgiving. So the thanksgiving psalm are usually psalms that portray, that give appreciation and credit for what God has done for the psalmist or for God's people, for deliverance, for recovery from health, for financial prosperity, from war, from all kind of whatever. Whenever people pray to God, does the Bible say that when my people humble themselves and pray, God will hear them. Whenever God hears them, then there will be thanksgiving. But do you know that in between praise and thanksgiving is lament? In between praise and thanksgiving is lament, where people are practically just going out and say, God, this cannot be happening. I see, but there's a caveat in the lament. For you to lament against the injustice that is happening around you in your life or whatever, that suggests that you are on the path of justice. You are on the side of righteousness. You are on God's side. And I dare say that the reason why many people today are not appalled, the very way the Old Testament writers, and even New Testament, you study the New Testament, you are not appalled because you are not on the side of justice. There is no way you can be paying your tax every single month of your adult life and you not be concerned about the way government uses money. There is no way that you will be paying your money every single time you are keeping the law, maybe for electricity or whatever, and you are not appalled at the rate at which you are spending money fueling generator because NEPA is not giving you light. There is no way you can be paying for education and you are not appalled that lecturers are not coming to class. that students sleep under staircases, that there's no way. And I dare say again that many of us are not at all because you are not on the right side. You laugh when you see evil happen. You shrug your shoulders when you see people being maltreated. And in Nigeria, the victim becomes the one who's attacked. Somebody is raped, and the first thing somebody opens their mouth to say is, "What are you even doing there, first?" Somebody is raped, and the first thing people open their mouth to say, "Oh, why are you even dressing the way you dress?" Is that what we're talking about? And when we now become to make the victim the object, rather than exposing, there are people today who are stolen billions. A former governor of my state, Oje Carlo, was convicted of stealing over 7 billion naira of our money in Abia State. Abia State, by the way, is an oil-producing state. Some of you that go to Abia State, there's nothing to show for. This man stole 7-something billion naira, and he was convicted. As I speak, Oje Carlo is free. He was jailed since last year. As of last week, he's in his house in Metema, in Abuja. He's free, and the whole entourage of the Senate want to go and pay him a visit. This is a guy who was convicted. Now, why was he free, ladies and gentlemen? He was free because they said that the judge that tried him had been promoted to the court of appeal. That means he cannot preside over the a high court anymore. No, not that he didn't steal. Not that he didn't invest water. No. Oh, you have been promoted. You know what? Oh, Uncle Manuel, you used to be the regional leader of Islands Ministry or of Shomolomoshi Ministry, or used to be the leader of the Asaba Church, or Iloni Church. You've been a leader in Subele. So because you are now on the campus, I just use for example, you have no jurisdiction to expose anything happening in those regions. You see, that is how we are going to end up thinking one day. That would say the man of fame will only be unleashed. That would say there's something holding him back, and that will keep on holding him back until it fails. Can you imagine what if it's our consciences, the right to fight for what is right, that is holding our world to just deteriorate to zero level? The day that men and women stop speaking against injustice, stop pointing fingers at what is wrong, that day we have given up, then that's when the Bible said that then the whole world is not going to fall under the control of Satan 100%. You see, the subdivision of this psalm can be, apart from lamentation, you have thanksgiving, you have psalms of enthronement, you have psalms of pilgrimage, you have the royal kingship psalm, you have the imprecatory or the cursing psalm, and you also have the wisdom psalm. You see, the psalm basically depicts 3 experiences we face as human beings in a relation to, in the narration to God, and he describes them as the book of Psalms. He describes them as psalms of orientation, the psalms of disorientation, and the psalms of reorientation. I'm going to be rounding up shortly because we've really gone time. I'm going to try to warm up. I'm just warming up. So in your life, many of us are still stuck in the orientation mindset. You are still stuck in, can you imagine, you enter university, you finish primary school, you finish secondary school, you do your JAM, you do your post-UME, you of course, you're able to get admission and you do all those things. Then you now enter orientation week. That is the week. It's so easy. Of course, you do your matriculation. Everything is just nice. You are just trying to form. You are getting to know. Some of us are stuck at that level. Orientation. That's where we are. Everything is okay. Lectures, in most universities, lectures have not started on some time. In most universities, it's just lecture free. They are taking you around the school, showing you the library, showing you so many things. They're having welcome party for people, the professor parties, faculty parties, every single thing. There's also a psalm like that. Orientation. So you see, some of orientation speak of things like creation. Wow, it's like you guys. That is where you guys are when you go to ICLC. It's like we should not leave. God, let us build the tabernacle. Let's build 300 tabernacles here. One for me, one for all my roommates, one for everybody. There may be one for you somewhere. We're looking at creation. We are learning things. We're getting wiser. We are in the favor of God. There's no parent. You eat for crying out loud more than 3 times a day. You eat so much, you throw food away. You wake up, you go and do your exercise. You go to class. There is free Wi-Fi. You give you T-shirts. When we give T-shirts, there's just so much fun. If you look at Psalm 8, you probably see an example like that. I look up at your heaven, shaped by your fingers, at the moon, at the stars, your firm. What are human beings that you spare a thought for them? What is man that cares so much for us? Or the son of Adam? I read from another version of the Bible. They actually care for him. This is the Jerusalem in the Bible I'm reading for. You're like, man, we are so happy. Look at ICOC. Man, it was awesome. We climbed those hills and it's as if we can touch the sky. We went to the waterfall. We loved the spring. Think about Wida in the public. You have the beach just by the side of your apartment. You come down there every single day. There is no worry. You're not owing anybody anything. You don't have to look for money to recharge your phone. You have free Wi-Fi. You ate, not just frozen fish. You ate fresh fish. You ate rabbit. You were served. You were go and take as much as you like. Nobody was on your neck. No mother, no father on your neck. Think about Abuja. You wake up every day, you dress up in your tie, in your suit. You are air-conditioned room. You go to your jacuzzi. You come out. You say, we love that kind of life. We love it. Here we see David totally oriented towards God. David was happy. He's thinking clearly. No, no, and full of worship and wonder at God in the high side of creation. He's not only, he not only knows who the maker is, he knows the maker himself. He said, God, I know you. Someone said, now I know the kingdom of God. They're struggling. All of a sudden, don't struggle at ICOC. Think about Equatorial Beach Resort. Think about the places that we have done ICOC. Think about when we went to Accra, Ghana. In that, ABC book, all animals were equal. Think about by the time we went out to Wida, we went out to Cape Coast. We saw a miracle. It was tourism. At that point, it's like, man, I will never fall away. I will never fall away. But you see, but the truth is that many people who have experienced all these wonders, not all of them are still around. Not all of them are still feeling the same way that they felt on that day. If for you, you are not as excited as you were about nature. At this time, you are at peace in this beautiful world, knowing that God is not just part of creation in general, but you are uniquely belonging to God. You belong to God. Say, man, I'm a child of God. You can sing that song. Can you imagine us coming all the praise and worship time at ICOC? All the way we dance, if you ask him now to trek to come to church, you will struggle. But many of us did the marathon. We trekked all the way to Ikmole, down to Arinka waterfall. There was no complaint. Even when you were feeling hot, you removed your shoe. Even when your shoe failed you, you didn't care. You were all happy. You see, is it possible that some of us are stuck at that place? No time we can take rebuke easily at that time, because we are humbled at this reality and worship words from our mouth. There is a God, He's alive. In Him we live and survive. This morning the brass were pouring out their heart, brother, and I want to encourage and thank the brass flag. And I'm here and I'm digging it, and I'm so fired up. And they are hitting their bottles or something. They are hitting their drum. But some of you, maybe you are in, because I can't see you. You are just there. You're just thinking, when are they going to finish them? Let us just continue to go. There's no all in you anymore. At this time, David was genuinely impressed with God. Let me ask you some questions at this time. I don't usually ask rhetorical questions, but think about it. Have you ever felt this way we're talking about? I'm sure you have. I'll give you reasons to know I felt that way. When you felt that way, where were you? Think back. And I'll give you an answer. At least there you can find one. When were you? You were probably at ICOC, you were probably at your birthday, you were probably at your convocation, matriculation, or your convocation, personal parade, whatever. On what retreat were you? On a retreat? Maybe like ICOC again, in your living room. Can you imagine watching movie? I remember last year when Endgame came out, and in less than 3 weeks it came out. I told the brothers we're going to watch Endgame in our brothers all night. People that are not disciples showed up from everywhere. I met a guy come. He said, someone invited who? He said, don't know, just heard that we're showing Endgame. That's all you know. We are having whatever. People just come. We are happy. Christmas, rendezvous, when we kill goats. 5 goats at the same time. We kill cow. 2 years ago. People are fired. Was it yesterday for some of us? Was it 5 years ago? How did you feel then? I must ask you. You see, for ICOC, I don't mind walking on bare feet because the sand is fantastic. The mountains or the hills of ICOC are picking up behind the cloud, and we can see the sunset. We can see we're in a valley. It was awesome. This stage is orientation. You're just entering the stage of orientation. Everything is awesome. And I'm going to be sharing more scriptures of Psalms of orientation. They are beautiful. But you see, after orientation comes disorientation. I was baptized May 24, 1992, last month. If you do the math, we'll make it like 28 years. I became a disciple. 28 years I've been a disciple. I remember the day I was baptized at City Hall, Lagos Island. In fact, someone years later, someone was reminding me, oh, I remember you. Now, we both myself and this person had made it on staff. I was like, I remember you when you got baptized. You came up and you splashed water on everybody. You are the only one who came out crazy. I said, yes, me too, I remember. I remember the first day I stepped into a bus to preach. I remember my very first sermon, public preaching. Even just joining a public preaching at Keja bus stop. I remember public preaching in school. I remember public preaching in Yaba bus stop. I remember the Bible discussion, the studies. I remember. You know why I remember? Because I kept all those memories. Some brothers came to my house some time ago when we started a new Bible talk, and I brought out every quiet time book I've used as a disciple, right from when I was on campus. I still have them till today. Whereas from my day 1 or 2, maybe year 1 or thereabout, I still have those books and the dates are all there. Every sermon I've listened to, every Bible talk I have shared, every class I have been to, everything, I have all of them. And it's a massive volume. I remember. I also remember times of disorientation. Now, to God be the glory, I've never one day thought about leaving God. I have never thought about not going to church because I don't want to go to church. Maybe I'm sick or too tired or something, but I never thought about I don't want to go to church anymore. But I remember days I've had attitude towards people, fellow disciples. I've had attitude towards leadership. I've had attitude towards the way I was treated or not treated. The question is, when you get to that disorientation period, and all of us are going to get there, how do you respond? Not react. How do you respond? Today on TV, we see people burning cars. I grew up seeing that. When we are angry as students, we destroy everything in the hotel. The thing we don't do is to set the hotel on fire. We rip everything apart. We destroy the street lights on the road. We burn tires on the road. We make a mess. We destroy people who don't even have any reason to be angry towards. People destroy shops. They break glasses. People who are in their same booth. So I ask today, are you responding or are you reacting? And I'm going to talk about responding because I don't think we are responding. If we are told we are responding, we're not responding enough. We're not responding as individuals. We're not responding enough as a group. And I dare say also we're not even responding as a church. But we see evil happen. Think about the people who responded when there was evil in the Bible. They were godly men. They were prophets. In the Bible, Paul responded when there was evil. Even when there was maltreatment in the church. Paul responded when there was a dichotomy growing between the Jews and Gentiles. Paul responded. Jesus Christ responded when he saw the hypocrisy of the Pharisees, the Sadducees. John the Baptist responded. Yes, they called them names, brood of vipers. Guess what? He was not calling them names. He was simply drawing from the scriptures. And whenever these men respond, they just go back and bring out what God has already said. Today, are you ready for the judgment of God? The Bible says that the word of God, knowledge of God is going to flow over the place as water flows over the sea. The judgment of God, they are pure, they are righteous, altogether perfect. And I ask you today, are you ready for that judgment? You cannot call judgment when you are in the same boat. And that is why some of us don't speak up. You don't speak out. Because we are selfish, because we are inward focused, because we are overfed, because we have not seen suffering, because some of us don't know what it means to go days and days without food. Some of us don't know what it means to go beg for food. And right now the whole world is crumbling. We don't know how long we're going to be at home. The government eased the tension, not because they wanted to, but because they can't feed us. The government can't feed us. That's why. Everybody go and look for what you're going to eat. In some countries, lockdown means we're going to give you food, you're going to receive alerts, whatever. But again, people are stealing those alerts. People are even embezzling money. That's what we make out. I remember years ago, when I became a disciple, the person leading the church was Henry Craig, leading the Lagos church, was a Canadian disciple known as Henry Craig. There was a day that Henry Craig heard, and I was sharing it with my wife just a few weeks ago, when we drove around Ibutemeta and we drove past the beggars' colony. And Henry Craig heard that the beggars came on the street to come and beg money. Why? Because they were giving the money. And there's a location, there's a colony they built there. So somebody has stolen their money. Once upon a time, the Controller General, the General of ICOCNigeria, named Obata, stole the entire money of Youth Corps, 1 billion naira, put it in his own account. Today, that man is walking around free. And we're saying, when the justice comes, the only thing holding anarchy back might just be the prayer of a few, or the action of a few who are willing to lay down their lives. Martin Luther King Jr. of America, PhD, Harvard University, laid down his life so that other black people can be free. Mahatma Gandhi, he was a lawyer in the British Empire. He was a lawyer in England. He left every single thing. Went to South Africa. He saw apartheid, he saw discrimination. He went back to his country and said, you know what, we're going to fix this country. He stopped wearing anything British. He threw away his passport, every single thing, wrapped himself up, and one tiny, frail-looking man was able to bring the empire to their knees. And I can go on and on. I love history. But I ask us, if the history of this generation was to be written down, if your history would be written down, what would you have done? Yes, you post a few pictures on Instagram. Yes, you make a few comments on your Snapchat or your Facebook, whatever. But who are you changing their lives today? Who are you involved in really changing their lives? Orientation, deep orientation, re-orientation. It's going to take us weeks or we'll be to scratch this. But I pray that something I've said today will convict you as much as it's convicting me. That will be to rethink our lives as disciples. I begin to rethink that we are part of at this time. I begin to rethink the footprint that you are leaving on this sand of time. That when the next generation comes after you, what are you going to see? Will that footprint lead them to liberation? Lead them to spiritual enlightenment? Or will we leave them in a state of apathy that many of us? Those are the words I would like to share with us today. I believe that this is what we need to hear at this time. If I have a chance to preach to the church, this is what I'll be saying. If I have a chance to preach to the entire leadership of the church, I can't that our country, you guys know, I have to say more. But I think it's time for us to sober up and begin to ask ourselves what really matters. We might be at home for a long time. Maybe some of us might die before all this is over. And I know your mind is saying, God forbid. And I said, then, if not you, if not me, who? For such a time as this.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Uncle. Thank you very much for the sharing. Thank you, John, also for the collection talk. Uncle, you spoke about the three parts of the book of Psalms: orientation, disorientation, and reorientation. I don't know. I don't know if you actually finished, or are we expecting a part two or like something? Thank you. That's what I just wanted to ask.
All right. Thank you. I hope you can hear me. Persons in the house can hear because light has been an issue. So if you're getting, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me?
We can hear, but it's
Can
breaking.
anybody? I'm not speaking through. I'm not using my mic. I have my speaker so that other person they family can hear because of light. Not everybody's phone is charged. Let me see if I can speak as loud as I can. So I'm depending on the microphone wherever it is on my laptop to pick up my voice. Your question is, this is just I only touched a bit on part one, which is orientation, which is just orientation. There is another part on orientation, and there's going to be another part on reorientation. So it's at least I am suspecting that the part on disorientation might even be in two parts again. Because there's just a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn about the heart of God. They just talked about the easy, lovey-dovey one that we can all know how we feel at baptisms, at trips, ICOC, vocation. So that's orientation. At this point, orientation, we seem to love God more. God is awesome. This is the kingdom of God. That's sitting with their friend, that's orientation. And you have a 2-hour date, you have a whole day bus ride. You can share food, and that's, we love that orientation. And God also gives us a time of orientation where He orientates us. But inside all those loving, there's also this orientation where life doesn't make sense anymore, where nothing makes sense anymore, where we don't understand why we're here, what we're doing, where we see so much evil. And we need to ask God, why have you done this to us? So also there's also a way to respond to such a time as that. So remember, the sermon is for such a time as this. So we have to respond to that kind of time. But we don't have to learn how to respond during time of orientation. You don't have to learn this. Natural, everybody's happy. Nobody gives you any rules. I think the problem is disorientation. And that is where, as a church, as individuals, we need to really. The Bible says that it is pleasant to go to the house of mourning, to go to the house of mourning, to go to the house of rejoicing. So there's lesson that we're not learning on this orientation. And that will be by, so we're going to talk about anger, godly anger. What is anger? Anger is saying, how do we respond? Then we're going to look at prayer. Oh, to God, how do we pray? How do we express our hope? How do we put all these negative things together? And what do we say to God? No, we say to man, but what do we say to God? So that's another answer to a short question. Please, invite friends. Let's make it a date. Let's make it, and we're going to do well. So thank you for that question.
Thank you.
I don't even know who asked this. So it's a time of feedback. Feedback. What do you think?
Yeah.
Your mind, you know.
Who else want to speak? Feedback. Amen. The platform is open to speak. Please. Yeah, Abiyo, we are talking about.
Are you guys
Okay.
Are you guys
I believe we are oriented with the message this morning. My name is Abiyoye, and I just want to appreciate you, Uncle, for the message. I'm looking forward to the part 2. But for me, one of those things I was able to get while you were preaching was a point of, for me to also value orientation. I mean, we came into the kingdom, we come to know God. It means a lot of things. And we are being instructed also in the way of the Lord. And these are just orientation that we also got, just for us to stay faithful no matter where we are. But sometimes because of the difficulty that we face in life, we tend to forget about that orientation. We tend to forget about the thanksgiving we're supposed to be giving to God. Then we lament. But the lamentation is not of remorseful act. It's not of repentance at times. The lamentation is more or less like what we want to gain, but we are yet to achieve. But the message this morning is just making me to understand also that if at all, we want to pursue this righteousness that God has laid before us, then we should be able to open up our mind, to ask questions and for us to be helped also. Because sometimes Yoruba will say, "Anybody dake, we should about dake," something like that. I'm not sure I get the proverb right. But what it means is that if you keep quiet, then there could be no help for you, in terms of adversity. So for me, that's what I've been able to get from your message, that I should follow orientation more. It could be hard, and at times we might not even understand what it is, but asking questions will go a long way for us to excel in God's kingdom. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for one thing. All those three. And there's something good about lamenting actually. And I'm going to put it forward to some of us need to lament more. Lamenting. And I appreciate even the sharing of our brother John Israel, did this morning. And because it's straight from the heart. I think we need more. I know we don't like being discouraged, we don't like, but sometimes I would say the time for everything. When you're discouraged, you need to package it. Don't over package your discouragement. That's people can't give you help. It's like somebody who is at a ward who just got his bone broken, and you have a broken bone, a leg, broken arm, you are bleeding, and you don't want the doctors to feel alarmed. So you are packaging your pain. Nobody's going to come to you. They're going to go to the person who's more in their need. You're packaging your pain. And I think sometimes we need to wail. We need to cry. We need to, express ourselves to God, especially, to God. And as a church, we also need to be used to hearing people do that. Not that want those people in pain. We also need to know that there's a time to be in pain. Our brother, somebody asked, and I forgot to actually give a feedback. I think it was I don't even know, somebody asked on the group how our brother is doing in Dublin. And I wanted, but I was kind of where I was in trust somewhere. It was like it's not doing well. As at last time I acquired in a meeting, it's not doing well, and so let's be praying for him. And he's almost like in a coma. Really, the doctors are fighting hard to just bring him back. So, but that's the reality of life. We can't sugar, quote it for you. We can't come and lie that, oh, okay, he's doing well. Our position will say, okay, well, we are looking into it. No, you are not doing anything. That's why you say we're going to start a committee. we are used to hearing things. After I will get numb, we think, okay, awesome. Look into it. Look into what? Question we should be asking. You know, sometimes how you doing? Fine. Fine what? You don't eat it, so you're fine. You know, and again, I'm not saying that we should all be gloomy and negative and ungrateful. I love food, so I can give food out. You know, with people in the church, like people outside the church. And people who I was telling you, we are at the market buying food. Here we are trying to raise money, even if it's 2.5 for one person. And I couldn't buy 1 pint of rice for 2.5. It was 2.7. And I said, so where am I going to get all the remaining money? So I had to use my money. I said, I can't just go and give somebody just one pint of rice. Buy beans. I had to put Maggi. I had to put my own money. You know, because at least I can survive. There are people who depend on what they make every day. If they don't make it, they will not eat. You know, and if we go to those places and we see those people, it softens us. You know, and I guess many of us are living in a bubble. Living in a bubble where parents are taking care, and we need to be grateful to our parents. If your parents are taking care of you, but people also are taking care of parents who at young age are actually taking care of parents, and some of you have no idea of what goes on. For some of us, the biggest lines are like, oh, my WhatsApp, somebody did my WhatsApp status. I had 100 hits yesterday. I only had, that's your lament. Oh, my internet remains only 2 gigabytes. Somebody say 2 gigabytes. I don't have 1 megabyte. You know, so we don't know how to lament. We are lamenting over the wrong things. We want to trend, but lamenting over things that are trending, not when we see evil. You know, around us, because we're seeing a dead body. You know how I feel? I was driving through 2 years ago. I say, man, barely dead on the street. How do you think? And do you know how to have a bad road to call 677 or what they call the Lagos State number? That's a dead body. It's a dead body on the road. And we drive past, and it doesn't make sense to us anymore. People are hungry, it doesn't make sense to us anymore. We need more lament. And may God bring things you have to make you know. You know, may God bring, I mean, if he needs to do it, I think God might have to do something in some of our lives to make us really understand what many people all over the world are going through. It is not a joke. It is not a joke. So again, that's just on part 1, the lies of it. We're going to go into the heart. We're going to see how people lamented in the Bible, why they lamented, the principle of lament. Lament is not just complaining. No. The principle. There is something about it. And so when you pray, it's going to you know, encourage you on what you say. Some of you can't pray for 1 minute. You don't know what to pray for. All your prayer is in the rotation. That's why I do. Thank God for this. Thank God. You don't know that people are dying. You have no idea. So it's going to beef up your prayer. Your prayer will also have a dash of lament. It is biblical. Jesus lamented also. Paul lamented. You know, you're going to teach you that there is such a thing as lament, and it is there. It is music for our soul. It's psalms for our soul, music to our heart, glorification, you know, whatever. So again, it's I appreciate the prayer. Go for the prayer. I'll pray today. Begin you pray. Go and ask people, what should I pray about? You just come and do all those circle about prayer. Go, thank you for this, and you are tired. You don't know what to say after 2 minutes, after 60 seconds. You don't know what to say. Ask people, what should I pray about for you? Some of us, even as we are here, people who have to go to work amongst us, what maybe not have the parents out or go out, have to go to work every day, exposed every day. We have to enter every day. And there's such a thing as turmoil in our world. And many of us are out of touch. And that's why we cannot lament or appreciate it when we see people lament. It becomes like a disturbance to us. Okay.